when someone asks me like what I do, it's just such a nice thing to be able to say, I make children's clothes, but I also design the fabric. And yeah, it takes people by surprise a lot of the time. So that's,
Right.
yeah, a thing to be proud of, I think.
Hi, everyone. I'm here with Amber Davies. Hi, Amber.
Hi.
So thrilled to get to talk to you today, get to hear more about your story. Would you just kick us off by telling us a little bit more about who you are, where you live, about your family, and what you do?
I live just outside Edinburgh in Scotland. I live close to the beach, close to the countryside with my husband and my daughter Olive, who's 5. I own a small business, Little Olive, named after my daughter. I make children's clothes that are all 100% organic.
Talk to me about where you were when you found immersion. You took the course in 2023. So, what brought you to it? What was happening in your life?
I think my daughter had just gone back to nursery. So I suddenly had a full week of work that I could dive into, at least 6 hours a day anyway. That kind of spurred me on to do more with my business than I could do before when I was still taking care of her. And I think because I was already in the world of surface design, but on the buying side of it, because I would buy patterns for my clothes that I was making. I already kind of had my toe in that area and I knew what it was, but it was just thinking, could I do that as well and design things for my clothes? And I think you randomly popped up on my Instagram one day and it was kind of like fate. It was because I'd been thinking about it and then you were there saying what
Wow.
I was thinking about. So yeah, I think that's how it all kind of came about. I think the big goal was my children's clothing business was doing great, but all the patterns were designed by other people. And I'd kind of curated those patterns and I loved them, but they weren't mine. And I had this idea that the next step to be a little bit different and to make the business more unique would be to design the patterns myself to be printed onto the clothes.
And so, would you have said that you were creative? Would you have said you were an artist, or was this all brand new?
Definitely not an artist. I am creative. I come from a costume design background, so I've been in this kind of area of work for a long time, but I definitely would not have said that I could draw or that I was an artist. I had absolutely no clue about Illustrator. I mean, I'm okay with computers, so I was feeling confident enough to navigate things like that. But I hadn't drawn anything in a really long time. So it took me probably about a year now to actually figure out how I wanted to draw and what the style of drawing looked like. And it took quite a long time to get into that. But I do have a kind of flow now of how I draw things and then take them over to Illustrator and manipulate them the way that I want them. But yeah, that did take some time. I managed to keep up with the course and I finished at the right time, at the time that it ended. I didn't have a full collection, I don't think. And actually my drawings from that first collection are quite different to what my drawing is like now, only a year on. So in summer this year, I launched my first collection of Little Olive clothes with my own designs on them. That was very exciting when the parcel came with my fabric.
Mm.
I also found a UK fabric printers. So now my business is completely made and designed in the UK.
Take me to the moment that the parcel arrived and you opened it and you're holding it for the first time.
That was so exciting. I was nervous to to cut the parcel open. You just never know what it's going to look like, do you? And it was quite a nerve-wracking moment, but as when I opened it, it was just crazy to see it on the fabric, and I just loved it. Yeah, I loved seeing it because I'm so used to working with fabric every day as well. It's just completely different when it's a fabric that you've got your own drawings on.
Amazing. Yeah.
When someone asks me like what I do, it's just such a nice thing to be able to say, I make children's clothes, but I also design the fabric. And yeah, it takes people by surprise a lot of the time. So that's,
Right.
yeah, a thing to be proud of, I think.
Amber, what advice would you give someone who was kind of where you were in the beginning of 2023, like seeing the possibility, but uncertain if, you could do it? What would you tell them?
I would tell them that they 100% can learn Illustrator, no matter who they are. Because that course is so comprehensive. It opens so many doors. I've designed invitations, I've designed logos for people, endless things I've designed as well as my own business. So it
Mhm.
just opens so many opportunities and it is life-changing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Um,
meeting with me.
your work is gorgeous. You're
Thank you.
gorgeous. Gorgeous.